Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to look at adding a correspondence out that you can send to your candidate in ORC. We're going to have this correspondence auto-triggered based on a phase and state within your CSP, candidate selection process. To do this, we need to go and log in as a system admin user, go to Setup and Maintenance after clicking on your name. Once you are in Setup and Maintenance, you're going to want to go to the module of Recruiting and Candidate Experience. And then again on the Recruiting and Candidate Experience Management functional area. The task we are going to select is Recruiting Content Library. And in here, we're going to go ahead and create our content of the email that we're going to send out to a candidate. So we're going to go ahead and select Create. And we're going to name this Candidate Correspondence. Our code will be CCC. Now our category, there are many categories that you can select from and list, but what we're going to pick from today is automatic job application notification. This makes it available to be added to your CSP. Then you can choose your visibility. Do you want this to go to externals, internals, or both? For our example, we're going to have it go ahead and go to both. You also can capture whether you want this to be indicated to be an interaction or not. So interactions are tracked on their own page on the candidate record. So if you do, you can go ahead and put in an interaction content here stating basically what this correspondence is for and why it went out. So if you choose to do that, that's fine. You can add that in. You can go ahead and put in the content of what you would like to show. Example correspondence. And then we get to the body of the version. So again, you can pick a particular start date, or you can start upon activation. I'm going to go ahead and start upon activation. And we're going to have a subject line. Now note in here, we can use our tokens that can be used on the subject line, on the message text, or if we want it to be an SMS text message. So for a subject line, we're going to say job titles. So let's pick job requisition, job title. We'll do number first. And so we're going to insert that in the subject line, add in a space, and then we're going to put in requisition title. So we got the title and we've got the number, and then we're going to say follow-up. And in the body of the message, again, we have a rich text editor here that we can use to make things bold, underline, or italicize, indent, bullets, however we would like to craft it. Note that if you're copying and pasting content into here, the best bet is to copy and paste that content into Notepad to strip out any messaging updates that have been made to the fonts and those types of things. And then copy it from Notepad and put it in here, and then align it here to how you want it to look. Otherwise, some of the HTML code and things behind the scenes can get a little scrambled. So we're going to go ahead and again use some messaging in here. Let's use our tokens. So we're going to put in the candidate's first name. We're going to enter that in the message and a comma. Please contact me for further steps that need to be taken to complete your application process. Thank you. And then, of course, you can have the recruiter's name, requisition, recruiter display name. And then if you would like, you can actually have the recruiter email, recruiter work phone number, whatever you would like in here. Okay. If you would like this to go out as a text message as well, it's an SMS text message. Please note that if you go above 160 characters, it will split into 2 different text messages. So you want to keep these fairly short and sweet. Again, we can use the token. So I think our message is pretty short. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to get rid of some of the spacing that we have here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do these guys. That should keep us under 160. And again, get rid of the extra spacing that we don't need because it's a text. There you go. So we have both of them created. And so because we check start on activation, I'm going to go ahead and save and activate. All right, so we have that created. Now we need to add this onto our CSP. So we go ahead and back out of here, and we're still going to stay on the module of recruiting. And in here, we're going to go find our CSP. So our candidate selection process configuration right here under candidate job application. I'd like to show you a couple things. Note that this one is active. So if we click on this one, we have all of our phases and states. And if we would like to add a correspondence here, we can just send notification, but we notice that our ad is grayed out. That is because you cannot add any correspondence to an existing in-use CSP. So when we need to add a correspondence, best bet is to make sure you have created all the correspondences you believe you're going to need. And then we can go ahead and duplicate our existing CSP. I can just give this a code. Save and continue. And then it's going to duplicate and bring up exactly where you were. So we're going to say within screening, phone screen is going to be scheduled. So that's where we want them completing the additional information. So we're going to do our send notification, and now we have the add button. So we select that, and it's going to ask if there's a particular internal or an external, or since the members are hiring team, when they get to the certain state, do you want them to be notified so they know a correspondence went out? You may choose to do that. And then you can just pick if you want this to go out. Here's the only one we've got. Okay, and again, if you had multiple, you could use search. We're going to do the same one for both. You can set up a delay, and the delay could be hours. So if you want the delay to be 10 hours after they hit that phase and state, that's fine, or you can leave it blank. I'm going to hit continue here, and we can change the name of this notification if you would like. You can add some predefined conditions in here. So there's a lot of things in here about assessment being completed, external, internal, which is really what we had initially. And really, this is about more OBI type information that you may want to use to trigger anything. You can also add a fast formula that you may build that may take several other variables into effect and load that into here. So we have a few here just for examples. So if they're disqualified, we can use that, anything like that, fast formula that you want to identify and build. In our situation, we're just going to leave it as is. And then save and close. Now our notification is added here, and we can go ahead and actually activate the CSP at this point, and it will be available for use ongoing by your end users. Thank you for your time.